Tonight is going to make some of you uncomfortable, but discomfort is where discernment starts. Because a lot of men, they're not heartbroken because women fooled them. They're heartbroken because they ignored what was obvious right in front of them from the very beginning. And tonight, we're going to talk about it and talk about it honestly. See, some men don't fall for women. They fall for potential. They fall for fantasy, chemistry, attraction, and especially an imagined future. You meet a woman, you're attractive, that conversation flows. She's beautiful. She gives you just enough attention for you to keep hope alive. And now your mind starts building a version of her that doesn't even exist yet. And that's where the danger starts, nephews, because while you're busy imagining vacations and relationships and emotional connection and what this whole thing could become, the profile here is already telling you the truth. Her behavior is already telling you the truth. Her energy is definitely telling you the truth. But attraction, it makes men blind. All right. Like a woman says, I'll give you a great example. A woman says, I'm bad at texting. And you guys think she'll communicate better once she likes me. No, nephews, that was the communication. She says, I'm spontaneous. I hate labels. She says stuff like just seeing what's out there or don't know what I want.
Uncle Bill, what do all those rules have in common?
Well, Johnny, just because she's attractive, they translate uncertainty into mystery. And that's the fantasy projection. So tonight, we're going to expose this pattern because emotionally grounded men do not date based on hope. They date based on consistency, on emotional availability, on alignment, on effort, and especially shout out to Johnny Dumbbell, bottom liner actions on observable behavior. Again, another round of applause. And that's the difference, nephews, because a lot of you ignore inconsistency, you ignore vague answers, you ignore attention-seeking behavior, emotional instability, you ignore low effort and unresolved baggage because you're too attached to attraction. And nephews, attachment will make you negotiate against your own standards. You start explaining away things that you would normally never tolerate. You start saying maybe she's just busy. Maybe she's just scared. Maybe she'll open up later. Meanwhile, reality is standing right in front of you the entire time. And then this is not about attacking women. Look, women are allowed to be inconsistent. They're allowed to be emotionally unavailable. They're allowed to be confused, avoidant, healing. That is life. The lesson tonight is stop romanticizing incompatibility. Because the most dangerous women are not always toxic. They're not manipulative, and they're not malicious. Sometimes they're just simply unavailable. And instead of accepting that, you guys try to earn access anyway, and that's where your suffering starts.
Oh, God.
So tonight, we're breaking down real women's Bumble profiles live on our show, and we're going to teach you nephews how to read an emotional tone, how to recognize instability, how to stop projecting fantasy, and how to vet before you emotionally attach to anyone. Because most men don't need better pickup lines. They need better discernment. So lock in tonight, nephews. Call in with your questions. Drop them in the chat. Email Uncle Johnny. Send us smoke signals if you need to. We're here to help because some of you are one ignored red flag away from wasting another year of your life and chasing a woman who already told you exactly who she was. My name's William. I'm your certified unk tonight. Johnny, go ahead and introduce yourself for all our nephews watching.
Nephews, if you don't know already, I hope you do. I'm your Uncle Johnny Dumbbell, and I am a personal can't talk tonight. I am a personal trainer and life coach out here in beautiful Pittsburgh, PA. But tonight, I'm showing a little Buckeye love, so because I know we're based, at least partially in Ohio.
Shout out to the Buckeyes. Yeah. Shout out to Ohio.
OH, leave it in the comments. Anyway, I'm here to share my perspective from the aspect of both success and failure, but let's face it, mostly failure. Even in the African savannah and the wildlife that we have here in PA and Ohio, most hunts end in failure. But here's the thing. In those failures, great stories happen. And in those stories, there's always a lesson. And everyone in our family, whether related by blood or not, could tell you a few stories about Uncle Bill and myself. Remember that there are not only morals to those stories, but there are lessons to be learned and carried with you throughout the rest of your life. In saying so, I'm going to tell you, we're not proud of some of those stories, but we are proud of the men that we became from the lessons we learned as a result of those stories the hard way. I guess what we're trying to say is we're here to help you. We're here to be the sacrificial lambs who screwed up so that you don't have to. Now, listen up.
All right, nephews, let's get right into these ladies' profiles tonight. We're live breaking down women's Bumble dating profiles, gentlemen. Call in with your questions. Put them in the chat. Let's get going, Johnny. Let's get to work, sir. All right, Johnny, can you see my screen here?
In about 4 seconds, I will.
All right. Our first profile tonight, nephews, is Christina. She's 38. And first thing I notice about the profile is there's no bio.
Second thing I noticed, now maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
All right, that's what we got, nephews. A woman who added a couple pictures from her camera roll. And all right, look, Johnny, let's be honest here. There is no bio. We got no prompts. We got zero emotional identity, no values, no personality clues. There's no effort at all in this.
So I guess this is where I say live chat. If you're seeing something we don't, leave it in the comments.
There's just attraction, pictures, and what we're trying to help these men with tonight, projection. And look, this is where men get themselves in trouble. Because Johnny, this is exactly what fantasy projection looks like. A lot of men see a profile like this, and they immediately start filling in the blanks. She seems chill. She seems fun. She seems mysterious.
They do kind of write her biography for her, don't they?
She's probably low drama. No, nephews, you don't know any of that. That's your imagination talking. And this is one of the
slow drama. Oh,
this is one of the biggest dating mistakes men make right now, Johnny. They're not reacting to her. They're reacting to the fantasy of her. And there's a big difference.
Well, they're reacting to the best case scenario. Let's say she's attracted to me. I mean, that tends to be a thought in some of their heads.
All right, nephews, here's the reality of low effort profiles. If a profile has no bio, if it has no prompts, if it's just random camera roll pictures, she's telling you something already. Now, that does not automatically mean that she's a bad woman, that she's toxic, that there's red flags, that she's a narcissist. But it does mean there's low upfront investment. So let's stay grounded. Let's keep this real, Johnny. And let's talk about what men tend to ignore here. Because we listen to these young men complain all the time. Women don't put effort into their profiles. And then
because you let them be low effort.
Well, they still do the super likes. They still over message. They're still chasing on these apps and over invest. And why? It's because that attraction overrides discernment. And nephews, this is where standards collapse. Because the prettier the woman, the more you guys tend to tolerate. And you shouldn't be tolerating inconsistency, low effort, and emotional uncertainty, nephews. That's dangerous. So, this is a great example, Johnny, of something I like to call the mysterious woman trap. A woman with no information is not automatically mysterious. Sometimes she's simply just disengaged or casual or Like Johnny and I have seen this on a bunch of profiles, validation farming, or the woman could be bored and not that serious about filtering. But because you guys are attracted, you turn that absence of information into a sort of emotional depth, and that's projection. So,
Yeah.
and Johnny, here's the deeper game with this. Emotionally grounded men, we don't reward low effort with high investment.
No.
If she gives nothing, you do not build fantasy future or attachment around that.
Well, Uncle Bill, I think part of the problem is that society's telling these guys if he's not getting the right amount of attention, it's because he's doing it wrong. And, I would agree with that halfway. He is doing it wrong. He's betting wrong. He's following the wrong leads. As a matter of fact, he shouldn't be following leads at all. He should have enough self-confidence to be the one who leads. But that's the problem. A lot of these guys go into a situation where they're looking for someone to follow when they haven't learned how to lead. That's not good.
Johnny, we see so many guys on the Monday night show who write into us in their suffering. And it's profiles.
My heart
like
breaks
this.
for a lot of those guys. Remember not last week, week before last. My heart broke for what was it, Donovan? I mean, It really did.
So here's what I'm trying to say, though. This is where you guys start your suffering. You talk yourselves into it. You look at profiles like this and you say, maybe she's just private. Well, maybe she hates bios. Maybe she's different in person. Maybe, but nephews, you cannot date maybe. You date reality. And look, a woman who is genuinely serious about a connection, she usually gives you some kind of emotional breadcrumb, something funny, something specific. It could be meaningful, expressive, lifestyle oriented, something that says, this is who I am. This profile says almost nothing, and that matters. Now, look, Johnny, Christina's profile, it's not dangerous because of what's there. It's dangerous because of what men invent around what's missing. And a lot of we see this, like I said, with these questions on Monday. A lot of men emotionally attach, they project compatibility, and they imagine a sort of alignment that doesn't even exist before the woman has actually revealed her character, her values, or any kind of consistency. And that's how you guys walk yourselves directly into heartbreak. All right, Johnny, I would say here, nephews, attraction should not erase discernment. Obviously, this is an attractive woman, but the less information any profile gives you, the slower you should move emotionally, not faster, because mystery without substance, that's where a lot of you guys lose yourself. Now, Johnny and I are real big on leading by example. So there's no way I can swipe on this profile tonight because I don't swipe on low effort profiles, no matter how attracted I am to the woman. So I'm going to pass on this one.
I mean, and the thing of it is, you're putting forth pretty pictures and heavily made up pictures. And look, I'm not saying she's not pretty, but I mean, like Uncle Bill said, what else you got? We don't know.
Hold on, we got a comment here, Johnny. Let me check it out.
Oh, that was me.
It's you. Hey, great. Thank you for commenting.
Listen, guys, I am late Gen X, maybe a Zennial, whatever you want to call me, but I'm still kind of learning how this whole algorithm crap works. And I'm thinking maybe the hashtags might help. Look, if you guys know how to get us more views, more people that can actually get it, we could use all the tips and hints we can get because, look, we want to get this information out to as many people who need it as possible. But we can't do that without your help. So if you're watching, you're enjoying the show, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. You'll be notified when we post new content, and we promise we'll give you the best content we know how to give you. All right? Thanks for tuning in.
All right, Johnny, should I give the nephew some DM game on if you were to match with an attractive woman who's putting nothing into her profile, or should we save that for a standalone episode?
I think we could sum it up with this. The guys who are going to respond to her are probably the same kind of guys that are going to lead with the wallet. If you're the guy who leads with the wallet, think about what I just said.
Bruh.
And you know if you do.
All right. Well, look, nephews, with any profile this empty, the worst thing you could do is overinvest, over message, or create a fake depth immediately. You don't know enough yet. So your DM game should be something that's light. It should be observant. It should be playful. It should be low investment. Your DM game should be designed to see if she has a personality and not trying to impress her. So, okay, if I were to match with Christina here and I wanted to be a little playful or direct with her, I would tell her that she gave me absolutely nothing to work with here. So I'm assuming that the personality is you know what, Johnny, I'm going to save all of this because I really do have a lot of smooth and grounded lines for game. And we're just going to save that for the people that are really paying attention and that watch the videos, that subscribe.
Yeah,
to
I
the
see.
channel.
Like low effort is usually low response. I wouldn't waste my time if it was me.
Well, so I would tell them this, though. I would use a little vetting energy and just say something like, I can't tell if you're mysterious or just allergic to filling out profiles yet.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you can approach it with humor, and you're probably, and listen, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get no response or minimal one at best. And whatever, move on. But if you want to amuse yourself, yeah, go for it.
All right, now I tell you guys all the time to call these women out, tease them, be a little playful with them, not rude, never disrespectful.
No, not at all.
But if I had to send a DM, and this is just me, I would probably tell her that her profile feels like a movie trailer with no plot. It's kind of clean. It's a calm confidence. It's playful, and it makes her work a little bit. And that's really what you should be going for, nephews. All right. Let's just pass on this and move on, Johnny. I tend to take too long on some of these profiles. This is the first one. We're 20 minutes in.
Yeah, we're really overanalyzing a person who probably took less time to post the profile than we did to talk about it.
All right, let me check out this one real quick, make sure that we can share it. TikTok, we're live over on Facebook. You can join on Facebook, but on YouTube, you can join the rest of the panel. You can see the profiles over there. TikTok will not allow me to share the profiles. They're saying this is not my original content.
Oh.
All right.
So, and by the way, while he's doing that, if you guys have any extraordinary, crazy, funny, hilarious, whatever kind of stories from online dating, something unique, leave it in the live chat. We love to hear it. We love hearing stories about, whatever online dating has brought to your life that might be a little bit out of the ordinary.
All right, Johnny, next up, we got Margot. She's 33. About Margot, she says, Cleveland bred, Italian raised, LA for now, adventurous, grounded, and driven, spicy with a sweet core. Let's see what else we got in the profile here.
I feel like that spicy with the sweet core is just kind of dangling the carrot where I'm a pain in the ass, but maybe someday I'll be nice to you. I mean, like, I know that's not literally what she's trying to put across, but I mean, I feel like every time I've run into that personality type, tends to go that way.
Well, she's tatted up, and I do like women that have some ink on them. I'll tell you that. But that doesn't mean we're compatible.
Listen, if she can drink more shots of whiskey than you without passing out, she's dangerous. Run.
All right, well, she's got wine in her hand here, and her friend's kind of cute, too.
God, of course she does. Probably a pink blush.
You know how I like it when they got dogs in their profile. Like her and I could just go take that dog for a walk.
Bruh.
All right, Johnny. So now she didn't put in the low effort that the last profile did. She actually filled out a bio, but it's only like maybe 3 sentences.
That's usually
Does
2.5
she drink
sentences more than we
socially?
get.
Bruh.
All right, what am I seeing here?
I think you're forgetting to hit the Chappelle button on that one.
You want the Chappelle button? My bad. I should have that one, huh?
Hey, man, I was expecting it.
Damn, look at them titties.
There it is.
Damn, look at them titties.
Yeah.
We're also learning how to use buttons, guys, so be patient with us. We love them, and it's fun.
Bruh.
Oh, you guys should have seen me when I first got the Roadcaster. Johnny wanted to come take this thing away from me.
A little bit.
I had like 6 Kevin Gates quotes on here. I think I still got some Kevin Gates quotes on here, Johnny. Hold on, let me
this
see.
fucking guy would hit like 6 buttons in a row, and I'm like, all right, we'll let it go.
Hey, Kevin,
I'm learning too.
Johnny.
I know a lot
What's
of
that?
I know a lot of bad bitches that hey, you ain't gonna hold no nigga down if he go to jail. You're not gonna pick the phone up, you're not gonna do none of that.
I ain't doing none of that.
Nah.
All right. Let's break this down for nephews and move on. I mean, it is honestly better than a lot of the profiles because it kind of communicates some energy, a little bit of
It shows
identity.
about 3 inches more effort than the other profiles.
All right, well, let's break down why it works, Johnny. Adventurous. Where's that part? All right, adventurous.
Curvaceous.
And look good. That's movement. That's openness.
That helps.
That's experience. That's lifestyle energy. But nephews, this is where discernment matters. Some people mean I enjoy life when they say they're adventurous. Others mean I need constant stimulation because I can't sit still emotionally.
God, I was married to that.
You vet deeper. So look, this is grounded. I like this. This is probably the strongest word in the bio because it balances that adventurous with sort of an emotional stability, and that matters because without grounded, the profile could really feel chaotic and dopamine driven. Grounded says to me that
I'm gonna go ahead and still say it's probably pretty dopamine driven, but okay.
Grounded to me says she's centered. She probably has a calm nervous system and is emotionally regulated, and that to me is attractive.
Yeah, as
driven.
long as it's not capped.
Driven. I think that's a good signal too. And let me tell you why. Because now the profile communicates standards. Now it communicates direction. Now it's showing me self-respect. And we're not getting that come save me, damsel in distress vibes from it.
Okay, but remember, young men, when you meet this girl and you go out for a couple of drinks, you still monitor her body language. You still bottom line her actions and her decisions. Those are going to tell you more than the words. So I like what we're seeing. I like what's being typed here, but I think you're really going to need to, be very, very aware of the room when you're talking to her, to just to make sure that that's not lip service. That's actual, the actual way she moves.
Now, spicy with a sweet core. Now, this is a line that a lot of our nephews here would lose themselves in.
That means if I'm mean to you, just keep trying until I'm nice to you.
This line creates tension. It creates femininity. It creates a softness mixed with edge. So a lot of men are going to instantly fantasize. They're going to project that compatibility. They're going to even sexualize. And y'all need to slow down because, all right, look, this bio works because every word creates emotional imagery. So you can feel the energy. You can feel this woman's personality. You can feel the lifestyle atmosphere. And that's what we talked about last episode was identity, Johnny. And most men's bios are gym, tacos, football. There's no emotional texture.
All of which I love.
but this profile here, it creates emotional tone immediately for me.
Mhm.
So, all right, some DM game for this one. If I matched with her, I would use the sweet and spicy thing that she's talking about. I would say spicy with a sweet core. That sounds like somebody who acts calm while planning chaos. I'm sure I
You know,
get her
Uncle
a
Bill,
chance
I
to
got to
chat.
tell you, there's one statistic that I can't ignore.
What's that?
And that
Johnny?
statistic is, as professional and as perfect as her photos look, most of us have had more success with photos that look like they were taken with an extended arm, not by an actual professional photographer. And you know, while I do think she looks great, she doesn't really look real. And so I gotta wonder,
Here's
is
the
there
thing,
some
Johnny.
way that in the DMs or in, you know, somewhere in there that she's going to be trying to maybe put a link in there for you to like and subscribe? Look, I'm not saying it's anything like that, but what I'm saying is you got to ask yourself two things. Does a girl who look like this have so much trouble in the dating world that she has to go online? And number two, how professional do these photos look versus how realistic does it seem that this
They're not.
person is local?
These aren't professional photos, Johnny. A
I'm
lot
not
of women
saying they
have
all are. I'm
really
not saying
advanced
they all are.
iPhones that have great cameras, and you know what else they have? They have best friends that take pictures of them everywhere. They'll hand their
Male
friends
best
their
friends
phone
who
and
can
say,
give
"Hey,
them
take pictures
professional
of me."
photos for a discount for nothing in return. No, I mean, I get that. Yeah, they've got these folks that are willing to do that for them or pay to do that for them.
So, yeah, I don't know. These are just pictures that like her friend took of her. I don't see.
Yeah, that I could see. But I mean, I'm talking about like the one leading up with the perfect bathing suit and the perfect position, you
That's her
know,
friend.
with the perfect angle. And not to mention, I got to tell you, the definition of the photo was fantastic.
Yeah, no, I think that's just an iPhone picture, big dog.
Damn.
All right. I would DM her something like, what'd she say? Let me check this out again. Okay. I would say something like adventurous and grounded is a rare combo. Usually people are one or the other. And I would leave it at that and let her respond to that.
I mean, if you've got
Now,
unlimited swipes, yeah, go ahead, swipe right and see what happens.
I really like her friend more than her, though.
Dude,
All right.
it would be fucking, listen, it would be gangster if she messaged you and you were like, hey, no offense, but can you tell me if your friend's single? I would lose my shit if you did that.
Bruh.
That's not how it works, bro. That's not smooth.
I know,
That's
but it's
not
funny as
game.
hell.
Here'd be the game on that. I'd have to date this woman for a while.
Screenshots or it didn't happen though.
No, I'd have to do like all kind of really kinky things to her. She would want to share this stuff with her friend, and the stuff that she shared with her friend would then make her friend a little excited in me. And look, sometimes things aren't supposed to last forever with women. They have a shelf life on them. Sometimes it's just time for you guys to go your separate ways. And when that happens, after that happens, her little friend over here is going to remember the stuff that her friend told her that I was doing to her. And it's going to intrigue her. It's going to interest her. She might
As
even
if you
ask
didn't
her
have enough,
friend for
as if we didn't
permission
have
to
enough
date
reasons
me.
to be respectable. But hey, that's a good. I mean, yeah.
All right. So, but back to the bio, back to the teachable moment. Nephews, look, notice this bio, it says very little, but it communicates a lot. And that's the difference between listing your hobbies and creating an emotional identity. I'd say women are often better at this naturally, and men need to learn it intentionally. All right, the dog drinks. I'm on the fence. Chat, what do you think? Should I swipe left on this one? Should I swipe right on this one? TikTok, what are you thinking? Should I swipe right on this one? Oh, y'all can't even see the profile. That's right.
I think if you got a
Bruh.
limited number of swipes and you're actually swiping, I wouldn't bother. But if you have unlimited swipes, yeah, swipe right, see what happens.
All right. Well, see, I don't have unlimited swipes, but I'm rarely finding profiles that I'm interested. You know, we'll go ahead and swipe right on this one tonight, Johnny.
Bless that bitch.
I mean, in all fairness, we wouldn't be getting through that many anyway.
Nephews, we're going to be on for another half hour. Write in with your questions. Put them in the chat. I can get our phone lines open. My bad. I've been lacking on that tonight. You can call in with your questions. We got you. Now,
By the way, if you've ever been catfished, leave it in the live chat. Tell us your story.
And we ask you to do that so we can give you the game to make sure that doesn't ever happen to you again. We'll have a little chat with you.
I mean, not to mention the fact that a lot of those stories are, let's face it, extremely entertaining.
All right, Johnny, our next profile tonight, we have Jordan. She's 49. First thing, no bio. There's no prompts.
So you're 49, you still look that good, and you had nothing to say? Those three things don't seem, I mean, I guess they could go together because they just did, but man.
Do we need to cover this again, nephews?
So you're over the hill, you're menopausal, you have nothing to say despite the fact that you look good. So you're really leaning on your looks at 49? Left.
Okay, well, you know, I'm going to agree with Uncle Johnny here because we've already covered low intention profiles tonight, and I'd rather move on and see if we could find a better lesson for the nephews.
And I'm sure we can.
All right, so we're going to pass on Jordan here.
Bye, Jordan. Please play again. I mean, in the next life.
All right, let me check out Tiana's profile here. Hey, and you know what, Johnny? Shout out to all the lovely ladies on Bumble. I know we're a little hard on you sometimes, but if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't be able to teach the nephews how to date like men should be. So thank you to every profile we've ever had on our show. I genuinely appreciate you.
Yep. Especially the bad ones.
All right, Johnny, I'm interested to see what you got to say about this one.
Yeah, as soon as I untangle my, there we go.
All right, give me 1 second here, nephews. I think y'all should be able to see the profile now. All right, Johnny, we got Tiana, 38. It says she's a freelance artist. We got a bio here about Tiana, seamstress, portrait artist, weirdo, homebody, naturally gray, introvert.
What the hell does naturally gray mean? Is that like slang?
Well, I know what a gray Jedi is, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Let me read through the rest of the profile, Johnny. She does have a prompt here. It says, win me over by music is my love language, especially shows and playlists. Win me over by introducing me to a new band that I can obsess over.
You know, Uncle Bill, I got to tell you, I play piano and a little bit of guitar, although poorly. And I know some really great obscure bands that have some great acoustic work. Now, I know this is your profile, but if it was me, I'd go right.
She says, send me a like if you like awkward silence.
Bless that bitch.
Hey, listen, sometimes to set the tone, you need to say or do nothing.
I don't know, Johnny. I think she might have had me a weirdo.
I mean, maybe.
All right. Give me a second here. Music is my love language. I do like tatted up women.
Yeah.
Homebody. All right. So what's your first impression, Johnny?
I mean, looks good. Let's see what I'm going to read this again. I got to tell you, I like the music thing. but I've been huge on music probably for the last 35 years of my life. So I mean, it's a big thing for me. I like the whole obscure band thing. Something she's never heard of. They're some of the greatest acoustic songs I've ever heard were from bands that I had never previously heard of. Shout out to Boyce Avenue from Sarasota, Florida. Alejandro, man, love you, dude. But there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those. I think that could make her that could add a layer to the texture of what makes her interesting. But that would, I mean, it really is going to depend on whether your taste in music meshes with hers when it comes to that part of it. Other than that, I haven't really seen much.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just looking this over. There's a few things I like in it. Yeah, I like how she's communicating about the music.
Nice lads,
Send me
too.
listen, Johnny. We always talk to the nephews about sitting in discomfort, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Go through a
So,
winter time in Ohio or PA. You'll be comfortable being uncomfortable.
so she says, send me a like if you like awkward silence. So I'm honestly, I'm on the fence about this one. I'm leaning towards a right swipe here because there's a few different things in here, and I'll back up to the bio in a minute.
Well, working in sales for years, I've become the master of the awkward pause. The awkward pause is when you present the product, you've already built value, and now you're giving them the price. And then you shut the hell up. The first person to speak loses. They will tell you that in every single sales class you attend. Okay. So, I mean, that's a factor.
Now, this is interesting, Johnny. It says she lives in San Diego. She's from San Diego, but she's up by Cleveland somewhere this evening. And it also has on here that
somebody's looking for some travel strange.
Bruh.
Hey, and you know what? I gotta say, John, I just love traveling nurses and flight attendant profiles. Shout out
great to have fun with.
that are only in my area for a temporary time. I appreciate you.
I mean, we ain't getting married, but hey, we're gonna have fun.
Now, Johnny, this is something I should do with my profile here that I have not taken advantage of yet because I don't have a Spotify. But it allows you to link.
Oh, you should have told me I have one.
Well, cool for your profile, but we listen to different things. I assure you, sir.
Well, yeah,
but okay. So she's talking about here's a little bit of game for you, nephew. She has this prompt here about music is her love language, especially shows, playlists, win me over by introducing a new band that I can obsess over. And then it's got 7 of her favorite, most listened to bands on here. So
what do we got?
I like that. Okay, Death Cab for Cutie. Another one, Medium Build. Pet Symmetry. Another one called Movements. Another one called American Football. One called Moving Mountains. And one called Modern Baseball.
I got to be honest. I'm probably going to watch this show later and write those down and check them out.
Well, here's the thing, nephews. This is a perfect example about what we talked about earlier. Emotional identity, specificity, and just a personal texture. Because Tiana here, whether she's your type or not, you can feel who she is in this profile. That matters. So, all right, I'll surface level read on this, nephews. I see things like seamstress, freelance artist, weirdo, homebody, music obsessed, and this profile is one of the more emotionally honest that we've seen recently, Johnny. And honesty creates polarity. So look, some men will love this profile. Some men will instantly know it's not for them. Good. And that's how strong profiles work. Weirdo, homebody, naturally gray, introvert. This line, I'd say it's important because she is self-identifying clearly without apologizing for it. It's actually a kind of confidence, Johnny, not allow confidence, not some kind of performative confidence, but identity confidence. And that's a big difference for me. And nephews, a lot of men are terrified to communicate this honestly. Why? It's because what you guys want, maximum approval. So you guys dilute yourself into safe, generic, and forgettable. Meanwhile, Tiana here is basically saying, this is the vibe, take it or leave it. And to me, that's attractive.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about this naturally gray, Johnny. I know you asked about this.
Yeah, I'm curious what that means.
And, okay, this matters, I think, more than most guys are going to realize, because she's quietly communicating a certain authenticity, a comfort in self, and even non-performative femininity. And that's rare.
I actually just thought she was talking about her hair color.
Well, okay, especially online dating where everybody's trying to curate or filter or optimize perception. This reads grounded. Now, the music prompt, this is where you guys can get lost if you're not paying attention. She says, music is my love language. Introduce me to a band to obsess over. This tells you emotional depth matters to her. Atmosphere matters to her. And this woman likely bonds through shared emotional experience. All right. Meaning art, feeling the vibe, emotional resonance, not surface level status performance. Excuse me.
Yeah. By the way, if you're under 30, check out a band called Alkaline Trio. I'm telling you, you're welcome.
All right. A lot of men completely misread this profile, Johnny. They think she's some cool alternative girl, or she's an easygoing artsy chick, or she's even quirky. And no, nephews, this profile is emotionally selective. And people who bond deeply through music, art, or emotional atmosphere usually feel emotional disconnection very quickly too. And that's important. Send me a like if you like awkward silence. She's basically saying, I don't need constant performance. That's rare. A lot of modern dating feels like endless entertainment. It feels like endless stimulation. It feels like constant validation loops. Awkward silence usually scares insecure people. And because it exposes nervous systems, it exposes self-confidence, and even emotional comfort. A woman comfortable with silence usually values presence more than performance. And to me, that's important, because a lot of guys try way too hard around women like this. Too many jokes, too much talking, too much performing. And meanwhile, she's probably evaluating your authenticity or how well you regulate your own nervous system without saying it directly. And look,
so I've got a DM.
Here's where men ignore certain signs. And that's really what we're talking about tonight. Tiana's telling you exactly who she is. This profile screams introverted, artistic, alternative, slower paced, and emotionally textured. And some men will still match her and then complain about her later. She's hard to read. She needs too much space. She's too in her own world. No, nephews, the profile already told you. You ignored it because of attraction. Now, Johnny, you were asking about DM game for a woman like this. All right, let me give you.
Well, no. I said I got a DM. And she's commenting, this is Emily. She says, naturally gray. I think she's just talking about her hair and that she's not dyeing her hair. That's her natural look.
Well, okay. So for somebody who's a homebody and introverted and talks about awkward silence, if I was trying to have a more smooth approach with this, I'd say something like awkward silence usually means one person is uncomfortable. I'm curious which side you're normally on. I like, Johnny, I'm telling you, we could do whole episodes about DMs. I could take screenshots and we'll get into that off camera. All right. If you wanted to be more playful with her and talk about naturally gray and the weirdo combo, I would say something like, yeah, naturally gray plus weirdo feels like somebody who owns at least one haunted candle.
Bruh.
Another DM from Alan. Alan, I do not look like Mitch Trubisky. You shut your filthy mouth.
Really? Well, I would
Shame on
send
you.
to her. I would probably send something like music obsession and awkward silence tells me you probably disappear mentally when a song hits too hard. And I don't know. I'm sure that would get a response out of her, Johnny. But hey, Johnny,
Yeah.
what do we say? What's the second best response to get from her?
You just kind of cut out on me. I didn't hear you. Sorry.
No, it's not important. We'll move on. So Johnny, I think I'm going to swipe right on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth a conversation, at least. Yeah.
That's 2 for tonight.
Now listen, I'm hard on Uncle Bill trying to get 3 swipe rights because we don't go through that many profiles. But I think if we can do the lightning round here, we got 10 minutes. We got the lightning round. So I would like for those of you in the live chat, if you think there's an immediate swipe left or swipe right, I want you to hit left or right. Type in left or right, put it in the live chat. The second you feel that, he should go either way. I want to see how quickly you guys can pick out, what we swipe right, what we swipe left on. And let's see if we can get Bill one more swipe. God damn. One more swipe right.
All right. I just went through like 4 or 5 profiles, Johnny. All right, here's one we could share. This might be our last one for tonight. I know you want to do a lightning round, but here's the thing. I don't want to do it just based on looks. That's not.
Well, no, we got to see. We got to see how quickly. Yeah.
All right. So you're saying that we should just go through this profile. Let me just make sure I understand here. So we're going to go through Brittany's profile here, and instead of breaking it down like we normally do, we're just going to talk.
No, we still break it down.
Okay.
We still break it down. I just want to know, how quickly the people in our live chat would be willing to swipe right or left.
Gotcha. All right. Next profile, Johnny. Brittany, 40. No bio. First prompt. Quickest way to my heart is a 10 blade and a sternal saw.
What?
If I had to guess, sir, I would say that's some.
Sternal. Okay. She means a bone saw.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Next prompt says, my simple pleasures are waking up early but feeling like you slept in, black coffee, rage baiting men.
I knew this was a trolling profile. I knew it.
Last prompt says, when my phone dies, I and Chiro also die.
Yeah, I had a feeling this is a troll.
How is this a troll?
Waking up early in the morning, like you slept in, black coffee, rage baiting men. So rage baiting men. This is a girl who already has this preconceived notion that we're the enemy. The fact that she likes rage baiting men, this is a woman who feels empowered by feeling like she got us flustered in a way that she's probably been flustered by men before. I think when it comes to that whole thing, it sounds to me like she is trying to see how much of your time she could waste. That's something I wouldn't be concerned about. As soon as I saw rage baiting men, I'm seeing like this is a woman who really honest to God thinks that she is going to gain the intellectual advantage over you the minute you guys start talking. No, I got to tell you, if she's rage baiting men, that means she's going online and saying things that she knows is going to, or she feels is going to make men angry and make them have to comment so that she can derive joy from their responses, which, by the way, guys, if if you're giving her emotional responses, is exactly what she's looking for. And I really don't know what your motivation would be to respond to that rage bait, unless you didn't know she was rage baiting you, which is exactly how rage bait works. So again, she's at least admitting it here. The minute I see that, I'm going left.
Well, okay, possibly, but
There's
consider
no sense
this.
wasting your time on that.
She's at least being honest about it. I mean, think about it, Johnny. You don't
right.
have women on your very own Facebook that do that? I know I do.
Yeah, and I think what she's looking for is the kind of man that's going to say, well, I admire that kind of strength, when really it's just, well, you look good, and I guess I can look past that.
She wants the kind
I think
of man
that's the kind of guy she's looking for.
her.
Yeah, that's what she's looking for. Yeah, we ain't going for that.
You see what else we got here. Another pitcher of wine in it.
Oh, good. She's abusive and she drinks.
Looks like she cooks too. It
Right.
does say she drinks frequently, Johnny.
I think if she enjoys rage baiting that much, it's a good thing she knows how to cook for herself.
Sunset walks at the lake. All right, Johnny. I would be willing to say
my question would be, why do you think telling men that you like to rage bait them is some kind of like an upsell to make the men want you? Because you're trying to find the simps. You're trying to find the simps out there that are going to say, "Oh, that's great. I love a strong woman, and hopefully I can change her mind eventually." And look, again, guys, if that is you, remember, simps are not victims, even though you'll feel like one. They are volunteers.
Johnny, this does the same thing emotionally as the no hookups, no friends with benefit line. It exposes weak men fast. This ain't about rage baiting men. This is about getting rid of men who emotionally react to stuff.
Emily says she's either a surgeon or a mortician, or she's an axe murderer. The rage bait could also be a potential catfish.
No, I think it's a filter, and she's weeding out weak men who get emotional when they read stuff like that.
Either that, or she's seeking out weak men. Remember, the guys that are going to say, "Oh, I love a strong, independent woman." Yes.
Johnny, please amuse me for this conversation tonight. What woman wants to waste her time with an emotional male?
The kind that needs him to buy her dinner. The kind that needs her bills paid. The kind who needs things bought for her. The kind who needs a sugar daddy. The kind who needs a lot of those things that fall along those lines. Now, I'm not saying that's specifically what she's looking for. She could be looking for the guys who see past that and don't buy her bullshit, although I don't know how she expects to land them. Or she's looking for the kind of guy who is willing to go ahead and let her take the lead, let her go ahead and take advantage until she finds something better beyond that. Now, I don't think a whole lot of women are out there doing this, but I definitely know there are some who are. And I'm not saying that the fact that she said rage baiting men means all those things. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is this. When she says she likes rage baiting men, what she's saying is she likes to elicit an emotional response from men. And we're just talking about men she doesn't know. If she is that excited, if she gets off that hard on getting emotional responses from men she doesn't know, imagine the way she would try to gain control or dominance by trying to elicit those emotional responses from men who not only does she know, but are actually at least attracted to her. That's all I'm saying.
I think she's got a pretty expensive liquor cabinet down here. I don't know if you can see that.
Might in a second here.
Down here in the corner.
Oh, wow. Yeah, sure does.
Yeah. Top shelf.
Mm-hmm. If she's got Booker's bourbon, maybe I'll come over for a night.
Bruh.
But I mean, a night.
Once you start drinking,
that's $100 bottle of whiskey. I don't know if you know. The last time I priced a bottle of Booker's, a fifth of Booker's, it was $119.99. Yeah,
So
I'm coming
would
for a
that
shot.
would that be worth the rage bait?
No, I just take the shot and leave.
Bruh.
Listen, I don't think you know how good a whiskey that is.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. The next time I come to Pittsburgh, we'll go find some.
We're definitely getting a bottle of Booker's. Yes.
All right, Johnny. What else we got going on here with this tonight?
Or Balvini's.
Now, if I met this woman at a bar, I'd probably sit down next to her and have a drink with her and chat with her for 10 or 15 minutes. And if I was having a good time, if the conversation was flowing, if I was enjoying myself, I'd tell her to put my number in her phone so we could do it again. But I don't know that I would swipe on her, ask her out on a date, and have the same kind of energy.
I mean, here's my thing. If I went out there telling people that I enjoyed rage baiting women on purpose, that would be the biggest deep red crimson flag you could ever see. It'd be redder than my shirt. And listen, I don't hate her on. I'm not going to hate on her for saying it. What I am going to do is say, yeah, that sounds like you are kind of a manipulative type. I'm out. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I will kind of.
Hey, it's your profile, not mine.
Well, here that's that one line that I don't really like. But I know it's a filter.
It's a pretty big fucking filter, and it should be you filtering her. I love rage baiting men. So what kind of I mean,
she wants somebody who's emotionally grounded, that she can't move off of her square by saying some stuff.
yeah, so emotionally grounded that she wants to be able to control your emotions. Ergo, the term rage baiting. Bye-bye.
All right, let's pass on this one, Johnny.
By the way, you're not hot enough to pull that off anyway, honey.
All right. We might do this one and maybe one more. Give me 1 second here. Hold on, I need to preview this.
By the way,
one.
while
Sorry,
he's doing that, ladies, if you are tuned in tonight and you would like a date with Uncle Bill, here's the deal. Oh, God, I'm going to rephrase that. If you are watching this tonight, you would like a date with William the Conqueror, leave it in the comments. Let us know where you're from and give us a couple of facts about yourself.
All right, Johnny.
Do it.
This might be our last one for tonight. Let's see here. All right, we got Jess, 39, says she's a therapist. About Jess, there's no bio. Does say she works out sometimes. Does say she's looking for a relationship. It does say she never drinks.
So we got a blurry tab pick.
My favorite quality in a person is empathy, with a close runner-up being humor.
You cut out on me. A close runner-up. What?
She says, my favorite quality in a person is empathy, with a close runner-up being humor.
Bruh.
Empathy and humor.
Johnny, why would empathy be her favorite quality in a person?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. If she screws up, she's going to want to know somebody who can empathize with someone who screws up. No, I mean, but that's actually part of it. I think a lot of people in general, not just women, but people, throw the word empathy around in a manner that suggests that they are preemptively asking for understanding for when they make a mistake. For when they make a poor choice. Now, I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but I'm going to say that that's worthy of note as you read the rest of this profile.
Next banner says the quickest way to my heart is laughter, banter, and food.
Bruh.
Survey says, yeah, number 2 answer. No, it's Family Feud. Okay.
Which one's that? That one, huh?
I don't think we have that button.
All right. Let's move on. Do you agree or disagree that prompted questions are the absolute worst?
No, because sometimes that's the only way we get any of you girls to tell us anything about yourselves. Because you sure as hell aren't, most of you sure as hell aren't typing it in the bio. So, I mean, the prompts are kind of like the only way we get to know anything about you, whether we, before we decide to swipe left or right.
All right, give me one. That's all we got, Johnny. We got her eating some pizza, looks like, on her trunk. And again, we have the playlist.
Wait a minute.
Playlist.
Can we make a date with the pizza, though?
Bruh.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Seems more interesting than her. It's got the pizza's got more layers than she does.
The pizza's more interesting than her.
Bruh.
Got more toppings. We know more about the pizza than we do about her.
That's crazy.
Please pull around.
I don't know what's going on with my internet here, Johnny. Give me a second.
Hey, no worries, man.
Here we go. One more minute here. Let me preview this. This might be our last one for the night, Johnny. We have been on for over an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, this might be a good one to end on because she really took the time to fill it out. All right, Johnny, we got. Hold on a second. We got Laura, who's 40 here, and she's got a bio.
Bless that bitch.
Imagine that.
Says ant status, elite relationship style, fiercely loyal knowledge of song lyrics, unmatched dating with effort, kindness and consistency, and hope for the same in return.
Hopefully you notice that the sky is blue just like I do. Oh, that's not in there?
No.
Oh.
Bruh.
Hold on a second. I'm having a little problems with the internet.
Yeah, I mean, pretty basic, pretty company line, but at least she bothered to type it in. But to me, that does not necessarily signify effort. Like, if you can't show effort in finding someone in general, I mean, I don't expect you to put effort into any relationship that may develop.
She says, if I could bring back one trend,
But you might
it
be
would
fun. You might be fun.
She says, if I could bring back one trend, it would be courting. Having to be dressed just so at all times, just in case your future husband shows up at the door. Intentions being clear and not a moment wasted.
So what she's asking for is to be treated like a princess, courted, and have suitors, not one, competing for affections. So courting used to be a woman would have 3 or 4 guys that were proposing marriage to her, and none of them have touched her once. So are we looking for that, or are we looking for just a competition to find the best guy she could possibly find? Well, I mean, we're all online for that. We're all online. We are online to find the best girl that's the best match for us. She's looking for the guy that is going to give her the best and happiest life, whatever that may mean to her. Think about that.
Let me see what else we got here. She says,
all I'm asking is if you're looking for chivalry, remember that chivalry has rights and responsibilities for both.
Well said, Johnny. All right, she says,
you get the doors open for you, you get things taken care of for you, but there are responsibilities that you would have too that if you look them up on Wikipedia, you probably won't like.
All right, Johnny, she says, I'm known for my vast collection of useless trivia, my love of 90s boy bands and television, being a dedicated aunt and friend who always show up. Then we got another prompt here that says, my ultimate green flag is maturity, a solid foundation of morals and integrity, confidence without being pretentious, and kindness.
Now, see, here's the thing. What she's asking for in so many words that could be condensed down to one: leadership. Make me want to follow you. Not tell me what to do. Make me want to follow you without you saying a word. Until you grasp that, don't message her.
Johnny, her ultimate green flag just happens to be the things that we are out here trying to teach these nephews every single week.
Well, and here's the thing.
A solid foundation of morals, integrity.
The fact that she used so many words to describe one concept goes to show you that she's actually looking for all of those aspects of what makes you a leader. She's literally giving you the instructions without even realizing it. So follow them if that's what you want to get at. But don't follow them for her. Follow them for your life, your path, the way you want to do things, living life on your terms. If you can do those things, you won't have to say a damn thing to her. You'll be able to lead the way she is actually looking for a guy who knows how to lead in that way,
Chat, I'm on the fence about this profile. Let me know in the comments if I should go left or right on this one. There's some things in here I like. There's some things that don't apply to me. There's some things that I could care less about. But there are 1 or 2 things I like. So I'm on the fence. Chat, should I go left or right? Let Unc know.
Bruh.
Put me on game. All right. While we're waiting for that, Johnny, let's talk to the nephews just for a second here before we wrap this up tonight. Nephews, tonight wasn't really about women. It was about perception. Because over and over tonight, these profiles told us the truth. Not perfectly, not completely, but enough for Uncle Johnny and I to understand the emotional tone, the lifestyle, the personality structure, the communication style, the attention needs, and the compatibility. The information was there. The problem is that attraction makes you guys selectively blind. And some of you don't fall in love with women. You fall in love with that potential. You fall in love with the chemistry. You fall in love with the fantasy, the aesthetics, that emotional projection you put into it. You see
the kitty cat
smile, Johnny. They see a flirtatious line, one attractive picture, and shout out to Chappelle.
Damn, look at them titties.
And suddenly they're imagining relationships. They're imagining trips. They're imagining a future with somebody they haven't even properly vetted yet. And that's dangerous because emotionally immature dating sounds like I can fix it. She'll change. Maybe once she trusts me, maybe she's different with the right man. Meanwhile, the profile, the behavior, the energy, the inconsistency, she already told you the truth. And the biggest lesson tonight, Johnny, people usually reveal themselves pretty early in online dating. Not always directly, but sometimes it's through humor. Sometimes it's through effort, through consistency, through their emotional tone, through what they glorify, through what they avoid, or through what they repeatedly signal in their profile. And emotionally grounded men pay attention to patterns, not fantasies. Because the truth is, most heartbreak doesn't happen because she's secretly evil. But a lot of heartbreak does happen because you ignored incompatibility you didn't want to see. And that's the real conversation tonight, nephew. This isn't about becoming cynical towards women. That's week 2.
No.
Women are allowed to be complicated. They're allowed to be on a healing journey. They're allowed to be avoidant. They're allowed to be emotionally unavailable.
And by the way, if they're too much so, you're allowed to vet them out.
And they're allowed to not know what they want. That's life. The lesson for you is stop volunteering to suffer just because you're attracted. Cut it out. A grounded man doesn't ask, how do I make this work? First, he asks, what am I actually dealing with here? And look, that question alone will save some of you months. It will save a few of you years. It's going to save all of you unnecessary attachment, because when a woman tells you who she is, you need to believe her the first time.
And by the way, her words aren't going to tell you, her actions will.
Not after disrespect, not after the inconsistency, not after that emotional chaos, and certainly not after the heartbreak.
Yep.
Look, nephews, call in next week. Drop your questions in the chat. Email Uncle Johnny. Send us smoke signals if you need to, nephews. We're here to help. Lock in, stay grounded, stop dating fantasy, swipe smarter, and please go forth and conquer.
Yes.
John, you got anything to add before we wrap this up tonight?
I do, because I was young once too, and I know that there's an entire weekend between now and the time we'll see you guys again. That's a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. So keep the drugs and alcohol to a minimum. But if you do drink, don't drive. And if you do drive, don't park. Because accidents cause people, and that's going to cost you. Good night.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate you. God bless the world.